Take it away.
So picture this. You've built a business from the ground up. It's been 4 or 5 years in the making. It's sort of essentially breathing on its own. And you decide to have a little bit of fun. I got married, it was about 2000, and it was 30 June 2017. I got married to my best friend, today my wife, obviously, because we got married. A couple of weeks later, we had booked a 3-month honeymoon to Bali, where she was going to do a yoga course, and it had been something we really wanted to do. And 4 days before this trip to Bali, I decided to do something that I normally do on a different day. I put myself in an 8-foot ball, a rubber ball that's inflatable, it's called a Zob ball, and I threw it off an 85-meter hill. 4 days before my honeymoon, hoping to have a little bit of fun, being adventurous, the biggest mistake of my life. I broke my neck, spent 90 minutes on the beach, very narrow beach, with boats coming in, water coming up, a friend of mine holding my neck. Another friend of mine was drowning. I tried to help him, lifted up my hand, and it just does this. My hand goes up and goes down. I thought I broke every bone in my body. I didn't. I had an unstable fracture of the C4. I couldn't move, and I had to wait 90 minutes for the helicopter. Thank Jesus, these guys really know how to fly helicopters. And we have a really good rescue team in Malta. They picked me up after 90 minutes and flew me to Malta and then to hospital, where I spent 3 months of many, many fresh starts. And these many fresh starts, some of them are still happening until today. And the idea of these fresh starts where I had to start from scratch. Thank God I had many great people in my business. My business kept on growing. And I had to start to work on myself again. I had to learn how to walk again. I had to learn how to run again. I had to learn how to type again. I couldn't even put my fingers in my pocket to feel anything, to get out what I wanted, whether it was coins or whatsoever. So I had to focus on getting better and having again a fresh start. The only thing that got me through it, besides obviously the doctors and all that, was the support I got from my loved ones and the mindset I had to believe in myself. And to believe in yourself is one of the most important things of any part of your life. Whether you're starting a business, whether you're thinking about taking the business to the next step, or whether you're thinking of moving on. But believing in yourself and understanding you can do it is the biggest inspiration of all. The only way to grow and move forward is to inspire yourself. Let me take you all the way back to before my accident, where I started from. Basically, when I was 18, my first business big tip, as they say, was a delivery driver. As we all know, there are many couriers now. I was one of those couriers for a company called Pizza Hut. I didn't last long at the job. I mean, I was great at it, but there were a few other things I aspired to be. And I started to think of what I could do. So I went from one job to another, trying to figure out myself and trying to see how I could enjoy life and how I could sort of dream, believe, achieve. That's our saying. So I always wanted to be a little bit more, a little bit better. But I found it very difficult. It's very hard to go out there and do your own thing. There are many people that try, but then they say, but I'm comfortable here. And that comfort zone is like an anchor. Not even an anchor, because an anchor means you've left the harbor. That comfort zone is like the rope tied to the pontoon. Not even being able to leave the pontoon. That comfort zone is what keeps you from a fresh start. Letting go of those ropes and doing it, believing in yourself and pushing yourself to the limit and saying, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna break the status quo. You're gonna fail, maybe, hopefully not, but it's very hard. I failed in many things. I've had many startups which have failed, and thank God I've had many startups which have succeeded. Leaving the pontoon is the beginning of the adventure. You're gonna find lots of people, the naysayers, that tell you it's impossible. How can you compete with these big brands on the island? Who are you to compete with these people? What are you going to bring to the industry that hasn't already been brought? I mean, sometimes you think about it and they say, what is McDonald's doing, what is Burger King doing different to McDonald's? They're both selling burgers, but they are doing different things. Burger King started with the flame grilled. That was their different thing. But if someone went up to Burger King and told the guy from Burger King, how are you going to compete with McDonald's? And kill it before you leave the pontoon. So speak to yourselves. There's a good book, it's called The Mom Test, about any ideas you have. I recommend you read it, and Grit to Great. It's a super book as well. That gives you the inspiration to go out and do something for yourselves and try and conquer something that you never thought you could be able to do. When I went out there and I started to find these sort of build my business, I found many, as I call them, glass ceilings, many light bulbs that kept me comfortable. I started to make a little bit of money. And I said, people were saying, oh yeah, consolidate, it's good enough. But man, I don't know, this competitive thing down at the bottom of my spine just kept pushing me. Man, I can do it better, I can do it better. And it was not easy. It was always hard to get financing, changing legislation, good people that work with you leaving. You're always going through these processes. Then once I read another book. It was called On Death and Dying by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. This book is so inspirational. It's about how you go through the grieving process and how long we take to go from the denial stage all to the progress stage. It's a whole 6-step progress system and how important it is to get through it quickly. We're not here for a long time. I mean, my mom taught me one thing once. She was watching a football match with her father here in the football stadium, so it was quite a while ago. And my nanu told her, you see all these people over here, and all these people over here, including you, we're all going to be dead in 100 years. And 100 years isn't that long. Most of us are going to be dead in 70. Hopefully we all live till 102. But hopefully we'll live much longer, but you never know these days. But man, that runway is not so long. I'm not trying to be a negative person over here, but before you know it, we're going to be like 60, 70, you know, and we're going to be like, fuck, why didn't I do that? Why didn't I have the courage to go out of this comfort zone and break that light bulb we have? Why didn't I take that extra step? Why didn't I speak to that person? Why didn't I set that meeting? How did I get stuck in that mundane rat race? Always trying to get a promotion at work, or always trying to sort of be comfortable with what we have. Taking that step of maybe a fresh start, opening a new business, whatever it may be, is very difficult. But you're going to find people that inspire you. And I think inspiration is the most important thing of starting your own thing and having a fresh start. Don't get caught down with these type of people that sort of like surround yourself with good people, people that inspire you and people that push you. Fast forward from Pizza Hut days, I went to do a lot of things which failed. I opened many companies which hit the rocks, and I found it very difficult to open the organization I did today. I mean, Jesus, we had no money to start. I had a friend of mine that believed in me. My brother helped me a lot. My mom and dad pushed me to go and open this business, and I did it. I went out, opened this business with no money, well, very little money. I went on Recycle Malta and got well, not actual computers, parts of computers, and put them together. We got desks, which my wife turned into this really cool hip culture that we've created. And we just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, invested all the money we made. And today we've grown not only 1 or 2 brands, but we've grown multiple brands, and we've even tried to take them overseas. Again, very difficult. International market is harder than you can imagine. It's not like they start to resist, they say, well, you're right, you did it in Malta, you created so much in Malta, but here it's different, we do things differently. It's true, people do things differently, but again, it's all about inspiration. It's all about trying to do the fresh start. If you don't try, you're never going to manage. It's like saying failing is part of the process. Michael Jordan failed 1,000 jump shots, but the ones he made history. They made Michael Jordan who he is today. It's not easy, and it's never going to be easy, but it's all about believing yourself, inspiring yourself, and pushing yourself. Always saying, let's go that extra mile, let me give a better service. It's not about working harder, working 15 hours on this new thing of having to burn the midnight oil to be number one. It's not about that, it's about loving what you do, doing it with passion, and really believing in what you're doing, and having fun, and enjoying that service, to give a great service, and to help people, and make sure you do everything with a purpose. Make sure that what you're doing and the vision you have for life is a vision of purpose. Never stop believing in yourself, never stop inspiring other people, and never stop doing great things. Because we're here for a very short time. The runway is finishing, let's make it count. When going back, because this thing is like dig, 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 dig. I'm not the slide kind of guy. I'm a kind of guy that like really sort of dreams and envisions, and I really like to visualize. I like to challenge myself a lot. So coming back, and I'll end with this, coming back to my accident, when I was at my accident, they never told me I will never walk again. No one told me that. And why didn't they tell me that? Because they gave me the chance of a fresh start. They gave me inspiration, because had they told me, listen, you're never going to walk again, like they told my family, I would have maybe had that doubt in my mind, the power of the mind, there's nothing like it, man. The power of the mind is everything. In fact, when I broke my neck, I couldn't walk. From here down, I still don't feel anything. I still cannot hold my pace. And 6 months after I broke my neck, I ran a marathon in less than 3 hours, 2 hours 58. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I'm getting emotional. But yeah, so the power of the mind is so much. I remember when I was at Karen Gregg, they told me, like, they were doing, you can walk, wow, how can you walk? We're gonna make a video of you. They were super good, super helpful. And then they started running this thing across my skin, and they're like, man, can you feel this? Can you feel this? Can you feel this? I said, no, I can't feel that. So literally from my nipples down to there, I can't feel anything besides hypersensitivity. So when it's raining, it's like I'm covering everywhere. It's like daggers coming in my skin. But when they felt, did you feel this? And I said, literally, it rolled off my tongue. I said, I can live with that. The second I said it, I had an out-of-body experience that put me up here, and it said, why the fuck did you give in? And it's the power of the mind is amazing. Once I said, I can live with that, my mind said, well, all right, recovery over. We're done. We can walk, we can run, but we can't feel. We'll live with that. Until today, I can't feel, but I'm working on it. It's coming back a little bit over here, so we'll get there. Thank you very much.